Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody. It is Catherine Ann Clayton with your Bold Breakthroughs with Business Experts. And again, I'm Catherine Ann Clayton, and I help driven entrepreneurs learn to make more money, to increase their sales, learn how to sell so that they can create that life that they want to. And I have a great guest with me today. She is a stress coach. Her name is Lisa Birnesser. And Lisa, I'm just going to let you go ahead and take over. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you help people.
Well, hey there, Catherine Ann. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to be here. So a little bit about myself. My background is in occupational and massage therapy. I have run my own business for 13 years. And my background is in stress management coaching, but now I can combine that to work with midlife women. So what I do is the women that I help them to gain a life that they have helped their kids, they have helped to support their family, they have helped maybe even to give support to their aging parents. And now they're at this pivot point where they are able to substitute the life that they needed to live with the life that they want to live. A life where they live with intention, on purpose, that brings them happiness and joy.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think I've hit that, even though I don't like to admit it, I've hit that midlife age. And, I think it's really important that women normally, they grow up and they're taking care of everybody. And what I've noticed with the women that I've been working with, and I do not do stress management, I send them to you, but they don't take care of themselves.
Mm-mm.
They get tired and they're so busy taking care of the kids, and a lot of people are empty nesters now. How do what's one tip, or how do you help people really start to say to themselves, hey, I need to be a priority? And why is it important that they become a priority?
Well, the first thing is that a suggestion that I always give women is to make sure that they are giving time and space to them in their lives. And a lot of times they'll come back and say, oh, Lisa, I have no more room in my life. There's no way that I can add one more thing. When if they really looked at what they're doing, they could. So maybe it's not watching a really bad TV show, because there's a lot of bad TV shows on right now. And to actually go in and take 15, 20 minutes to soak in the tub with some candles and some lavender oil, so that they have to learn and practice things that they give back to themselves, and they're going to be able to give more to other people. The thought and the thought process of I have to keep giving, you're going to make yourself sick, physically,
Yeah.
emotionally, mentally.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was interesting because I've kind of started on this journey about 3 weeks ago, and I got into this space to be a present parent, and those that know me know that that is my real motivation, is that I can be there for my kids' lives, because heck, they're going to be gone in 2 and 4 years, and they're going to be doing their own thing. It's funny because when you and I have talked about this process about taking care of ourselves and doing what we know what's for us, and the same variation goes with, I didn't think I had any time. So what that meant for me is I got up an hour earlier. And we were sitting with my kids the other day, and they're like, what's the deal? Why do you want to talk to us all the time? Because I had never really been that present parent. I mean, I was the present parent. I was there taking them places, but we were really, now as teenagers, they're talking to me and stuff. So give us one tip to tell us how we know if stress and things are really getting to us, because a lot of women just think, oh, this is just what I do, and they don't realize that they're stressed.
Right. They think that waking up in the middle of the night is normal, and laying there and worrying about everything that they have to do. They become numb to the fact that it's just normal to take care of everybody else and not give back to themselves. It's selfish to do self-care. They may find themselves getting more agitated, or they may find themselves not eating correctly or giving themselves the proper nourishment during the day. So there's all sorts of different signals that can show someone that stress is actually beginning to take over their lives.
And so what if you start noticing that, because I've noticed, I've got my water right here, and what I've noticed is I don't drink all day. Does
Mm-hmm.
water affect your stress? Not having enough and being dehydrated?
Absolutely, because what that can contribute to is not being able to focus during the day. It can also show up as being tired, and it can actually be hydration that's the problem.
Okay. Okay. So give us one tip that we could implement very easily and like say right now that could help us start de-stressing ourselves and start taking care of ourselves. If you have more than one, feel free to give more than one, or one or two.
Thank you. Yeah, so one thing you can do is walk up and open up your calendar, whether it's on Google Calendar or you still have, a planner that you keep and carry, and look at the number of things that you have to do for other people versus the things that you're doing that you've scheduled to do for yourself. That is a huge signal that you need to learn to say no. What could you possibly say no to? Because setting those boundaries is the first line of defense. It's okay to say no when it's something that's going to clash with your values. If your values are to stay with your adult, your teenage kids, for example, and you're booking crap in the evening, then that's going to cause this incongruency in your life where you feel really tugged at, that you really want to spend time with your kids. So just by reviewing and taking a look at your calendar can speak volumes to you. And that's where you can find that hidden time.
Oh wow, I'm gonna do that today. In fact, that you're the second person in the past couple of weeks that have said we need to redo your calendar, and so I definitely am going to do that. That is a great tip. So, any other advice that you can give to midlife women, and even if you don't want to admit that you're midlife, which is like me?
I think midlife is different for everybody. My midlife started in my early 40s, where I changed a lot of things in my life. So I think that's it's relative to each person. So making sure that you're giving back to yourself is the most vital thing. But also to make sure that you're saying no to the things that you don't value.
That's really important, I think, is getting your values in line. And it's sometimes we think we know we know what our values are, but until we sit down and write them on pen and paper, we don't really understand if our values are aligned. I just did that exercise this morning, so it's funny that we're talking about that, knowing that our values are aligned with what we want out of life and what we're putting out there in the world.
Because they're not the same as 20 and 25 years ago. I'll guarantee you that.
No. And that's interesting that you say that, because, my mother, who, is an aging mom, obviously, and she just some of the things and the values that she instilled in me are still here. I mean, they raised me great. I had a great childhood, but some of the things that I allow and accept from my children, that would have never happened in our house. So values do change, and you've got to work out what works in your immediate nuclear family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And it's all different and relative. So I just look at it as now you have wisdom and experience that change how you see the world. It's totally, it can be a night and day, a 180 from when you were 20. So re-examining those are huge. That's a huge, very positive thing to do. And that's one of the things that I do in my coaching.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So you do coach people. That's great to know.
Absolutely.
And you can get people past some of those barriers. So speaking of coaching, do you have a freebie to give that you want to give to the audience
I
today?
do. It's called the boundary script. How to exactly know what to say when you need to say no. And you can go to theboundaryscript.com to be able to get that free gift.
Right now, Lisa, I know you've watched my show before, but I'm going to tell all those newcomers out here in the comments after it loads up on Facebook on my business page. In the comments, Lisa's going to go in there and put the link in there to make it easy for you guys so that you guys can just really jump in there and get those freebies. I actually have read the boundary script and it is fabulous. So y'all definitely need to take advantage of that. And this week, I am giving away the 5 steps to close more sales without being salesy. And I'm going to
Ooh.
put that link in there as well. It's going to help you learn the 5 steps that you need to do to help you build your business. But Lisa, I want to thank you for coming on today.
Thank you
And
so
and
much.
it's been such a joy. And everybody else, thank you so much for attending the Bold Breakthroughs with Business Experts. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.